The film begins in the home of an Iraqi man named Ali. He is preparing to pray when an unknown person suddenly enters, kidnaps him, and takes him away. Ali is then transferred to Guantanamo Bay, specifically to Camp Delta, a section reserved for Muslim prisoners accused of terrorism after the events of September 11th. 8 years pass, and Ali is still imprisoned. One day, a new group of soldiers arrives at the camp. They gather in front of the head guard, Randy, who explains their duties. He tells them their main responsibility is to prevent prisoners from committing suicide or starting riots. Preventing escapes, he says, is the job of the camp's walls and fences. Randy warns the soldiers to stay highly focused because the prisoners have been there for years and know the place better than they do. He explains that their only real weapon is the radio, and if any emergency happens, they must immediately call for help rather than act alone. Suddenly, Randy receives a radio call about a dangerous prisoner named Ihan who is causing trouble. Randy asks if anyone wants to join the operation to restrain him. A female soldier named Amy volunteers. Randy tells her that Ihan is extremely dangerous and assigns her the task of controlling his left hand while others restrain the rest of his body. When they enter Ihan's cell, he violently resists. Amy tries to grab his arm, but he punches her hard in the face and injures her. Despite this, the other soldiers manage to restrain and handcuff him. Later, on the bus back to the soldiers' housing, Amy's colleagues notice she is upset and try to joke with her to lift her mood. That night, Amy calls her mother. We learn that she joined the army because she was unhappy with her civilian life, especially after her father's death, which caused her to become socially isolated. The next day, Amy carries books from the prison library and offers them to the detainees. Most refuse, until she reaches Ali's cell. Ali is the most interested in reading and tells her he has already read every book in the prison library. He asks her about the final Harry Potter book, which is not available. He has been asking for it for 2 years, but no one has brought it. Ali says he wants to understand the character Snape and know whether he is good or evil. Amy cuts the conversation short and asks if he wants one of the available books. It is clear that Ali mainly wants to talk to her to pass time. He asks questions about each book, even though he has already read them. Randy interrupts and ends the book selection time. Later, while Amy is checking on the prisoners, Ali calls her the blonde and tries to talk to her. Amy refuses, explaining that prison rules limit communication between guards and detainees. Ali responds that there is no real difference between guards and prisoners, because everyone is trapped there. He tells her she cannot leave whenever she wants, just like them. Amy ignores him. Ali asks for a bottle of water. When she gives it to him, he suddenly throws his waist at her, shouting that he is not an animal and should not be ignored. The other prisoners laugh. Amy is deeply shaken. She goes to the clinic to disinfect herself. There she meets General Raymond, the camp commander. He knows what happened and feels sorry for her. He suggests she take the rest of the day off, but Amy insists she is fine and continues her shift. Later, Amy learns that Randy has decided to punish Ali by moving him to a different cell every 2 hours for 3 days, depriving him of sleep. The next day, Amy attends a party with her fellow soldiers at their housing facility. Everyone is enjoying themselves. Later that night, when Amy enters her room, she is shocked to see Randy enter after her. Ali tells Amy that if she takes the paper from him, it will not infect her. He asks her to stop treating him as if he is not human or as if he is less than her. Amy asks him to calm down and explains that camp rules forbid her from taking anything from detainees. Ali calms down and apologizes. He also apologizes for what he did when he threw his waist at her. He explains that at the time, he just wanted to talk to her because he felt she was different from all the other soldiers he had met during his imprisonment. Amy accepts his apology and tells him that she searched the prison library for the book he wanted, but unfortunately, she could not find it. Ali thanks her and is happy that she cared enough to look for it. 8 months later, the detainees go on a hunger strike, demanding regular time for physical exercise. Amy goes to the camp commander and asks him to approve their request. She believes their demands are reasonable, and that allowing supervised exercise would not be dangerous. Because the general has felt sympathy for Amy since her first day at the camp, He agrees. A few days later, Ali is outside playing football, and Amy is assigned to guard him. Amy notices that Ali clearly enjoys sports and feels alive while playing. She tells him that if he follows the rules and obeys orders, he will be allowed to exercise regularly with the other detainees. Ali responds that no one has the right to give him orders and that no one in the world owns him. He says he was born free and will die free, which is why he always refuses to obey commands. He tells Amy that he knows his words will not please her and that she may think he is a bad person. Amy replies that she believes he is a good person. They continue talking and laughing together until a detainee named Ayhan passes by and shouts angrily at Ali. Amy understands that Ayhan is upset because Ali is joking with her. At the same moment, Randy, the head guard, calls Amy. She goes to him immediately and realizes that he is angry about her behavior with Ali. Randy decides to punish Amy by ordering her to clean a detainee's cell that has been flooded with waste. Amy protests, saying this is not part of her duties, but Randy tells her it is a military order and she must obey. That night, Amy sits upset in the soldiers' recreation area. Her colleagues notice and ask what is wrong. Amy tells them what Randy did to her, and they advise her to file a complaint with the camp commander. The next day, Amy goes to the commander's office and submits a report, stating that Randy treats her in an aggressive and unfair manner. She is shocked to learn that Randy submitted a report against her the previous day, accusing her of forming a personal relationship with a detainee. Amy tries to defend herself, but the commander stops her. He explains that military life has very strict rules, and the most important rule is obeying orders. Since she chose to join the army, she must follow her commander's instructions. The general then speaks honestly about his own situation. He tells her that he is not happy with his position as camp commander. He does not feel that he is serving his country, but only guarding criminals and keeping them alive. He explains that no matter how well he performs his job, he will never be promoted. But if he makes a single mistake, he will be punished and demoted. He tells her that he was assigned to the camp by direct orders and cannot disobey them. Still, he performs his duties because this is the life they chose as soldiers. Later during lunch, Amy sits with her colleague Rico, who tells her that a soldier recently tried to end his own life, but was saved by others. This confirms what Ali once told her. Everyone in the camp is imprisoned, both soldiers and detainees. The next morning, Ali notices that Amy is no longer on duty and asks one of the guards about her, but no one gives him a clear answer. That night, Amy is on her new shift. While making her rounds, she stops in front of Ali's cell. Ali wakes up and asks why her shift time has changed. She refuses to explain. Ali realizes that this must be a punishment because of her closeness to him, and he feels guilty. Amy changes the subject and asks Ali why he was arrested in the first place. Ali tells her that he is a university doctor, holds German citizenship, and has no connection to any terrorist group. He explains that his criminal record is clean, and even the investigator who questioned him wrote that he was innocent. However, instead of releasing him, they sent him to Guantanamo for security reasons. Amy is deeply affected by his story. She tells him to stay strong and patient, and assures him that one day he will leave the camp because he is innocent. Ali then asks her what month it is. When she tells him, he realizes she has only 1 month left before being transferred, since guards rotate every 10 months. He tells her she could request another term at the camp, but Amy says she is mentally exhausted and does not want to stay. Ali admits that he is afraid of the new guards, as they are known to be much harsher. Amy reassures him and asks him to follow orders so he will not be harmed. Suddenly, Ali reaches a breaking point and tells Amy that he no longer wants to live under these conditions. Amy panics and begs him to calm down. She tells him not to give up and insists that his life still has value. Ali explains that even if he is released, his life will be extremely difficult. No country may accept him, and he may never be able to work again. He says he has thought deeply about everything. Before the moment passes, he tells Amy that he loves her. Amy shocks him by saying that she loves him too. She tells him her full name and says she will wait for him until he is free. This changes Ali completely. He calms down, hands over the object he was holding, and steps back. They hold onto each other through the cell door, both crying because of the situation they are trapped in. 1 month later, Amy leaves the camp. Ali remains in his cell. One day, a new guard comes with books from the prison library and asks Ali if he wants one to read. Ali notices that the final Harry Potter book is among them. He takes it, unable to believe it. When he opens the book, he finds a handwritten message from Amy. She writes that she does not know whether the character Snape is good or evil, but she knows one thing for sure. She loves a man named Ali because he is truly a good person. The film ends.